Hi guys! Welcome to the Alan Show! Thursday 21st, May 21st, 2020. We're still here! Alright guys. I'm talking to you, yeah. You. Yeah. Have you had enough yet? Have you had enough yet? Alright. Nothing to worry about it. Everything is gonna be okay. Alright? Now I'm gonna talk to you about something. But first, the usual intro. This show is about you. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a scientist. I'm a salesman. But I've been in my fair share of crisis. Forgive my little this morning, but it's about you and me coming out of this without any scratches, helping us one another, trying to reach one person out there. That maybe one word that I say may trigger your brain, your mind, and say, hey, there's another way. I don't have to feel this way today. For today, I'm not going to be defeated. Today, I'm not going to be demoralized. There's another guy out there trying to. I'm going to get on my radio, my TV, whatever, my cell phone, and join him to reach another person. Because we are all in this together. We are in the great Titanic, right? It's not my problem. It's our problem. I can sit back and relax and enjoy my glory and not worry about anything, because I don't. Why? Because I'm in control of certain things, and the things that I can't control, I let him go. Simple as that. And sometimes, well, that's what we have to do. But we're going to learn things, because the secret of life is an eternal learning. It's a journey. We pick out those books, or however you want to do it, digital or physical, your choice. Success is a journey. We talked in my previous shows how life is ups and downs. Our country has been up, down, wars, all kinds of things. Right? We have celebrated and we have cried. Well, the key is in you. Are we going to laugh about this and do something about it? Or are we going to cry and be defeated? Your choice. I don't want to make this long. My idea of this is to inspire you, illustrate you, illuminate you, or at least entertain you. Look at all this art out there. It's all my crazy mind, right? Going. So let's go and get busy on learning. Here we go. We want to be a winner, right? Not a whiner. All right. Let's get a little start today. You see that sky when you look up? Those are little people that shine every day for all of us. Now, have you had enough yet? Is your glass half full or half empty? Think about it. Right? The age, right? How did we arrive here? Well, I'm going to help you. Ran out of toilet paper. All right, guys. That was a great intro. I like it. I like my intros. We want to turn on the light of knowledge, because here in the Alan Show is all about learning from one another. I have learned all the things that I'm telling you. I'm a salesman. And all the things that I'm telling you is things that I learned throughout my years by doing three things. Seeking and you shall find, right? You go and look, and right, by being trained by very professional, highly professional people, experts in motivation. And I used to pay tons of money to go see these people. Hotel, everything it's a great experience. And when you come out of there, you come out on fire. And obviously the fire will only last if you keep feeding it, right? And the third one, right? The third one is by my experience. Dealing with thousands of people, some one-on-one conversations from doctors, lawyers, scientists. I had people that you're not going to believe. These people, I see them sometimes, doing business. I saw them on TV, things like that, right? Like incredible people, right? And I had experiences from talking to just the average person to people that are, in high regards, right? And it's amazing that I discovered that everybody has the same opportunity. You get 24 hours a day to make your life 10% better every day. You don't have to reinvent yourself, only change 10%. When I was a salesperson, I used to, I'm still on, but like when I was really in the practice dealing with clients every day, I had rut moments, right? So, and when you having this down moment, you kind of gravitate around other people in the same, because you want to feel better, right? You want to feel understood. So right now, a lot of people are feeling like, oh God, I gotta go see people like the way I feel, because maybe if we see somebody winning right now, maybe we're not understanding it. Why? How? And how I'm not winning? How did I lose everything and that guy is not losing everything? Well, that's how the world works. The world works because it's a competitive world. Huh? You wanted to live in a first world, right? First world is all about competition, winners and losers. They don't care what you believe in when it comes to finances. You're either going to lose or you're going to win, or at least you're going to, you're going to level up. But there's other countries, these things are happening, economic, same thing for centuries. They just not cold, not hot, right? But obviously their lifestyles are much, much, much different, right? Now, let me explain to you how we come out of this without any scratches and then build from there. First of all, you got to think about this. This is an economical change that happens all the time. But the problem right now is that it's happening more often than not, right? We just had one in 09, 08, 09, and now we're here again, right? But why is this happening? Well, I'll explain to you what I know, what I learned. Don't be a dummy. Don't be out there overreacting, right? Hey, take it easy, man. You don't want to end up like me. This guy doesn't even buy me clothes. Come on, man. Get off that rut. All right? And we're going to get Mrs. Clip here. Hello, guys. Oh, she's going to give us the word of the day. She's our librarian. She's teaching us one word every day so we can learn what's going on, right? So, thank you. Come and visit me at the library. Bring your kids and everything so we can share some books. We got some great stuff. It's free. Mrs. Clip, what's the word of the day? The word of the day is bellic. Bellic. Have fun, guys. Learn something. This guy's trying. All right. Thank you, Mrs. Clip. Well, the word of the day today is bellic. Oh, you don't really want to know about that word. So, if close your eyes, cover your ears, you don't want to know about that word. Let's begin. Did you know? And please, I know there's always critics and fact checkers for people that tries, right? I love you all. It doesn't matter. If I make a mistake or say something that is wrong, remember, I'm just illustrating, and sometimes I'm just paraphrasing just to illustrate something. If I make a mistake, correct me down there. Don't use profanity or start insulting. Or, just help me, right? Don't judge me, help me. Don't judge people, help them. If you see, perfectly, we all get better, right? I'm a salesman. I can take criticism like a turtle can take water. Don't worry about it. But just be kind, right? We're going to be 10% better today. Today. Tomorrow, we don't know, right? All right, let's put our little flag in a thing here. And let's talk about, did you know there was a salt? Yeah, you know this thing, right? Did you know that there was a salt war in America in 1860? Salt. Did you know that? People fighting for salt. You can find salt almost everywhere. But salt. Did you know that there had been wars over bananas? I love bananas. I eat one every day. Did you know there was wars over salt and pepper? Why? Salt and pepper? Did you know that there has been wars for silver? Did you know there has been wars for gold? Who's gonna fight for this, right? Well, do you know that there are wars happening because of water? Let's see, how good is this water? Refreshing. I want to burp, but forgive me. I'm a fancy man. I don't do those things. So, is your glass half full or half empty? Did you know that this is just a little bit of the illustration over tobacco? Did you know those? The zombies, right? Tobacco, salt, water. Well, I'm just going to give you a little rundown. Look, I'm not going to do your work, but if I give you an illustration of something and you want to know more, then just go and look at it. The internet is fingers away, but if you want to go to the library like I did and learn these things, because I'm an old guy and that's how I had it when I was growing up. I wanted to know why people act the way they act, and because I was a salesman, I was extremely curious and I wanted to be able to talk to people of all levels in a smart way and know what I'm talking about. Don't be a dummy and lazy, right? So if I say something and it interests you, then you go to the internet so you can teach something to your kids that they didn't know. See? We're going to turn on the light of knowledge in your home. How would you like to live in darkness all your life? Why do you think people can't deal with certain things? Because they don't understand them. The enemy of fear is understanding. You know? Let's put it right here so it gives us a better, right? The enemy of fear is, why do you think they don't want to teach you things? Because they don't want you to know. Because once you know, it doesn't have the same effect on you. You know, when we light up the world, they can't do much with that. So they got to keep you in the dark, right? But it's your job. Nobody's telling you can't go. But they're not going to bring it to you because there's no business in that. There's no money in making you smart. They want to be the smart, right? So remember those little stars at school? Well, so if everything you know and everything you have has gotten you to the point that you're in and you're not feeling satisfied for any reason, this is what this is about. My show is about letting you know that there's nothing wrong. That what happens is we get obsolete, like computers. Would you buy me a 1990 computer right now for $1,000? Heck no, right? So our mind gets outdated, and we need to get with the times. So that's why I'm teaching you, not teaching you, I'm not a teacher. I'm showing you what I know because I'm a salesman, and salesmen move the world around. But if I go to you and say, hey, look, I just discovered that we have bananas. And then you say, well, that's not a discovery. I can go get them at the market. You're crazy, right? I'm crazy because I'm trying to sell bananas like it's the first, like it's a new thing, right? So sometimes we trying something that is already outdated and all. Sometimes employers or businesses, they keep us working because we've been loyal to them, but our jobs, they start to stale and become more and more irrelevant. And that's hard to swallow for a human being because we are two things. We are full of pride, right? We're very proud creatures, right? That's why it's always important to humble ourselves, whether it's through spiritual values or to knowledge. See, right here, we come, according to this book right here, it said we used to walk like this. Now, I don't know. I never saw anybody walk like that. But if they say maybe, well, why not? But how about if we can fly in the sky like this, right? So I believe everything. I don't try everything. I'm not a dummy, but I believe in it. Why? Because it makes my life interesting. So why some people are getting right. The reason why I'm doing this show today is because the last report we have for unemployment is like 33 million people and 90,000 deaths or something. And one of the news media, I don't like to criticize people because everybody gets judged by their deeds, not by me, not by you, but by the universe. Especially when you're hurting or trying to hurt and scare people in times of crisis. You gotta be very careful with that. Especially if you plan to have your own family in the future. Why do you think we are where we are? Because somebody has sinned before, right? That's why we're here, right? If we're carrying the bags of the past right here without even knowing it. What are the bags of the past? Look, I have coins from I collect some stuff, right? But I'm just going to show you some. These are coins from all days, right? And each one of these coins, I collect all kinds of stuff because it makes my life more busy, right? Here's one coin from 1927. It's a Buffalo nickel, and it's got that. This is fun. If you have kids, you want to teach them all this stuff. Go get a couple of these nickels and give them to your kids and say, hey, okay, look, you have a piece of history of Americana history, right? Look, remember we used to have the Indian head nickel right there, right? We had a lot of respect. We put it in our money. Right? Then we had the 1911. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is a nickel. Yeah, this is 1911. This is the one before. This is before, and then this one came out. So it's 1911 right there, right? I know these are worth a couple of bucks, whatever, right? I don't do it for that. I do it because it gives me connection to a good past. I don't see this as a bad past, but there is a past that is a past, and those things don't go away that easy. But this is one of my oldest coins that I have, and I always dream. Sometimes when I'm holding this coin, I'm thinking, who had this coin in their hands? And how were these people? This is from 1891. 1891. I don't know what is it worth, a couple of bucks, whatever. I don't care. I just get him when I see him, right? And it's a nickel. So what is this about? It's about our history. So I can't find my phone. This show is not edited. So sometimes you're going to have to bear with me because since I don't edit my shows, I make them one shot. And that's the way I like it. It's very imperfect, because I'm very imperfect, and that gives me more to work with. So it gets my day busier, right? Well, I got it. I got my phone right here. So we're gonna talk about that war for a moment, but before that, I'm going to open up this. Okay, I told you. Did you know that there was a salt war, right? And see, this is great things to teach your kids. I have kids. My kids are grown. They're on their own. They're doing, they're doing their thing, right? So, but I used to go to the library with them. We used to teach them all kinds of stuff because it's all that keep you busy, right? If you don't know anything, oh my God, just trying to figure out your day is hard. But if you go out there and spend time learning, you can read 20, 30 pages of a book and take 3 hours of your day, depending, right? But you never want to miss the words. If you miss the word, you got to have a dictionary, check it, so that way you know the exact story. Otherwise, you have a story with a whole bunch of gaps in it. And that's not a good story. That becomes those are the stories that people tell you. And the fish was this big and he caught it. And then the next person said, no, the fish was this big and he caught it. The third person, because people keep putting, because there are gaps in the stories and then they just exaggerate it or put whatever they want in it, right? So just to follow, just go through the dictionary so we don't make up words, right? Words are important. I like water. They give you life. So if you watch some of my previous videos, it explains you there. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. This is this is for entertainment. It keeps me busy, but I'm not here to I'm not a scholar. I'm not a teacher. I'm just a salesman. And like we say in the car, in the business, right? If you don't if you don't get on quick, you're going to have a bad paycheck. So, right. El Paso Salt War. Okay, you can go Google it, and it tells you. And it happened in 1860. And it was about salt. The things that we take for granted, right? It was this big hoopla between, the residents. See, that's why I pull out this one. This is 1891. And this happened in 1860, not too far away from this coin, right? So you can see how things relate to one another, right? So in 1860, California was introduced in 1850. So just think about how much in time. But why people would fight for salt, right? Well, back in the day, we didn't have refrigerators. We didn't have this stuff that you see today. So salt was like an essential resource for preserving stuff, for maintaining stuff. You know that in icy roads, right? Icy countries, right? They use salt for the roads. So salt is not just for what you think it is, right? It's not just for your dinner table. It's for a lot of things that is useful. Okay. So what is this about? Okay. Well, America is a great country, right? We know that. But to make America great, right, we need resources, right? We don't have all the resources here because no country has all the resources it needs. That's why they trade, right? Currency. In order to trade, you need to have cachola, right? Money. So, how do you make money? And how do people will take your money? Right? Well, go figure that out, because I'm not going to tell you, because I'm not a teacher and I'm not an economist. But I'm going to tell you something that I've been hearing a lot. I want to keep this video within 30 minutes so I can make it interesting. So real quick, I've been here on the internet, right? Every time that somebody's talking about World War III. We already have World War I, World War II. So there's a 66% chance that World War III, just to go 1, 2, 3, right? Everything, nobody says 1, 2. No, right? 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. First, second, third place, right? Gold, silver, bronze. So the likelihood in human psychology, and I'm not a psychologist, I'm a car salesman, I'm a salesman, is 1, 2, 3. They never talk about World War IV. Doesn't even sound good, right? World War IV? No. But they're talking in the internet about these things, right? And I'm not a guy of frenzy, but I'm saying, why are these guys talking about these things, right? It's not like it's nothing new. We have wars because of salt. We have wars because of bananas. We have wars because of chocolates. We have wars because of pepper. How do you think they found this continent? They were looking for spices. And always the perpetrator, gold. Gold, man, gold causes a lot of problems, right? But you say, but what's that got to do with me losing my job? Or what's that got to do with this? Well, I'm not going to tell you everything. I'm just picking your brain. There is one thing that the entire world needs more than pepper, bananas, gold, silver, and it's right in your top. You remember that movie called Waterworld? Why is it that especially for the last 10 years, all they talk about is melting ice and water, right? Oh. 2 tours of water. Well, let me tell you something. There is water in this banana. To make this, you have to use water. I don't know about salt because salt is a mineral itself. So I don't know what's the content. Everything has kind of like, a minute or big amount of water in it because that's what this world. That's why they painted blue like this, right? To represent the water. So what happens when we build machines like this? How much water do you think it takes to make one of these things? So to create an economy like ours, how much water do you think we consume? Right? I'm not talking about global warming. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about how do things come knocking on your door when we're not paying attention. So real quick, in 2009, I had an inspiration. I like to draw. And I was in my game. Everything is good. And I drew this. And I've been talking about this, and I said one day I'll talk about this because it will be appropriate. But at that time it wasn't because people were so caught up in, oh, I'm rolling, right? Okay, then it's not appropriate. But now it is because we're running out of time. We literally are running out of time. And like I always say in my show, do you know what time it is? Don't waste time. So it was this. I called it the salesman effect. Right? The art of convincing. That's all it is. Selling, it means convincing. You see the things that you believe? Somebody told you, right? You didn't just woke up one day and say, oh, I know all this stuff. No, you've been programming to learning a lot of things. Sometimes through media, TV, or whatever. But the truth of the matter is that there's only one resource in the world that is equally important to everybody, and it's water. And for an economy to keep growing, it needs water. So, Mexico, right, down, Canada up. We have wars with Mexico. We have issues with Canada. We have border. Obviously, there was an issue. But these people, they share waters, right? I've been at the Niagara Falls. It says Niagara, Canada, and Niagara, right? The falls, the American Falls, Niagara, the Niagara Falls, right? They're in Canada. You gotta go to Canada to go and see the horse show. So I've been there visiting with my family, my kids back then, right? I'll tell you that story one time. It's very interesting. Okay. See, it's right here on this area, right? New York, right there. See all that water? It runs along between Canada and. So how is this all freaking out the world? Well, everybody wants to be number one, right? And what happens to number one? Pick in your brain. If everybody wants to be number one and somebody is number one, what's going to happen to number one? I'll leave it to you with that. So there's a list of things that happens before something happens. One thing about wars is that there's three very distinctive issues that happen, except for little tiny wars. Sometimes they just like don't like each other, or racial wars or things like that. But for big wars like World War I, World War II, there was a series of events that happened. And how did this relates to you is because you need to start looking into what's going on around, right? Stop thinking about your problem so much and look at the whole picture, because right now we are in a pandemic, right? But before that we were in a real political jam. These people say, oh, I don't care about politics. Yeah, you may not care about politics, but politics cares about you very greatly, right? If you vote, you care about politics. So here's the question. You don't have to be engage in antagonism and things like that to care about politics. You can just, be a moderate person. But the question is, what were we doing before this pandemic? Right? We were almost at each other's, right? The country very divided. But all this is related to one another, believe it or not. So here we go. I don't want to go over this, right? We go through currency, trades. It might go into 2 videos. So please, if I cut off here, just go into the second, so I want to finish it with you so you can get a little better understanding of what's going on. Love again. If you don't love, you're going to have a hard time. I'm just telling you. And you need to understand what the word love really, really, really means. Where did this word really come from? Right? I'm not going to do your work, but I'm just passing the message to you as a good salesman. So love again and get yourself